It's called the will to prepare. And everybody wants to win. But is everybody willing to prepare themselves to win?
Notre Dame runs power. T-tips in the end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame. That's a guy who just refused to go down.
And what you did this week is you had the will to prepare yourself for winning. That's what's called the team win. Great job tonight, guys. That's how you find a way to win.
Hello again, Irish fans, and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly. I'm Jack Nolan, coming to you today from the floor of Notre Dame Stadium. The Notre Dame offense was expected to be productive against Nevada, and it was, producing 39 points in the first three quarters. However, after giving up 517 yards and 50 points to Texas the previous week, the defense came into the game with many questions to answer. Brian Van Gorder's unit answered those questions by limiting the Wolfpack to just 300 total yards and no touchdowns until the second unit gave up a late score. Two of the key plays in the game were also turned in by the D-Boys, a stop on 4th and 1 at the Notre Dame 17 in the first quarter, and an interception by defensive lineman Jerron Jones that set up a second quarter touchdown.
Stewart, screen was set up, it's intercepted by Jones at the 4-yard line.
Yeah, it was awesome. It reminded me a lot of high school, so I caught a pick in high school off of a screen as well, so, you know, being able to do that again, it meant a lot.
I'm not happy about that. How does Jerron get a pick before me? But, you know, I'm happy for him and excited to make plays like that.
It gave us a lot of confidence moving forward, especially against a team like Michigan State, who is very physical. So, you know, it gives us a lot of confidence going into that game, and it tells us that we actually can be a dominant defense when we want to be.
Inside Notre Dame Football is presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame partners, Coca-Cola, Under Armour, and Gatorade. Inside Notre Dame Football is also brought to you by Bank of America, Canon, Xfinity, Delta Airlines, proud to be the official airline of Notre Dame Athletics, Nissan, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.
Here's the snap to Kaiser. Cocks his arm. He's got a place to go. Look to the end zone. Throws to an open receiver. Touchdown Notre Dame over the middle to C.J. Sanders.
What pleased you the most about your team's win over Nevada?
Improvement. You know, you look at week 1 to week 2 and you expect improvement in your football team, regardless of who your opposition is. You want improvement in your players and in your team. I think that's number one. And number two, coming back off a short week, the way that they prepared themselves to win, I think those two things stand out the most.
You've been working so hard on red zone offense against Nevada. You're 6 for 6 with 5 touchdowns.
Well, a lot of that has to do with structure, but I would say that the guy that's making it happen is Deshaun Kaiser, and he's making good decisions down there. He struggled a little bit last year with just managing the offense down there, and I think just another year under his belt of seeing things and coverages that are now familiar to him has allowed him to navigate things down there properly. And after 2 games, he's throwing it at 71% completion percentage, and I think anytime you throw at that kind of percentage and still rush for over 200 yards, so great balance in the offense, and I think Deshaun is, again, making the throws that we're asking him to make at this point.
You knew you had great depth at running back, and it really showed yesterday with your top 3 guys.
You start with Folston and Adams, and then Dexter Williams gets a chance, and you see the explosiveness that Dexter has, and he really worked hard to get himself into great physical shape to compete with 2 really good backs, and to have that kind of depth at the running back position is, I don't even want to say a luxury, but something that most teams would be envious to have, and all 3 of them played well.
After 2 games, too early to anoint Equina St. Brown, a star, but again, he was your leading receiver, 6 catches, 85 yards. If one hadn't been called back, would have been over 100. Yeah. He has really stepped up his game.
He's doing what we're asking him to do. I think we need, more production from the other receivers. We'll get Torrey Hunter back this week. I think that'll be a good balance for us. But the other kids are stepping in. CJ Sanders is doing some really good things for us. And so if we can continue to get a little bit more production at the X receiver position with Torrey Hunter coming back, that's going to be key because he got a lot of double coverage on Saturday.
From the very first day you got here, you said, I want my offense to be 50-50 running and passing. And people still see you as a passing coach. But yesterday against Nevada, does it get any better than 200 plus yards both running and passing?
No, that's where you want to be. I mean, I want to be equally as good at throwing it as I am running it. So if you say, listen, you can't run it today and I got to throw it 70 times, I'll throw it 70 times. Or you say, hey, listen, I'm not going to let you throw it. I want to run it 70 times. That's what I've always felt like from an offensive perspective. You've got to be able to do what the defense gives you.
Quarterback keeps. He didn't get there. Nevada gambles and doesn't get there.
With good reason. The unit that was really under scrutiny this week was the defense, and your defensive leaders, James Onwalu and Isaac Rochelle, really leading well both off the field and on the field.
Yeah, without question. I think you always look towards those veterans to come up with big games, and Cole Luke was outstanding. James Onwalu was outstanding. Daniel Cage probably had his best game since he's been here. So, when you get all 3 units, and when I say 3 units, when your defensive line is playing well, your linebackers, Tavon Coney played extremely well, and then in the back end, Cole Luke, Drew Tranquil all played much better. That's a good thing. So when you asked me at the outset, the improvement of our defense from week 1 to week 2 was the biggest plus.
And I don't care who you are. I mean, your number 1 unit held Nevada without a touchdown. There was a late breakdown with the backups, but overall to come out against that kind of offense, you should beat that team. But to keep them without a touchdown till late really shows that they came together.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, they can cause some problems, and they will. They score against everybody. Last year against A&M, last year against Arizona, they put points on the board, and they beat some pretty good teams in the Mountain West Conference, and they won a bowl game last year. So, and they know what they're doing. Coach Polian does a good job. He's got a good staff offensively and defensively. Their scheme is solid. So regardless, no, they're not a top 10 team. But if you don't pay attention to detail and you don't play well, they can expose you, and we definitely played much better.
At what point in this game on the sidelines did you say to yourself, okay, we've got it going now on both sides of the ball?
Well, I think probably when we put up the 25th point on the board, going into halftime up 25-0. Now they've got to score 3 or 4 times, and I just didn't think they were capable of doing that. We came right back with that long, I think it was an 85-yard drive. I think when you put 13 plays together, that's when your offense is really starting to click. Those long drives when they're in their conference, most of the offenses probably can't put together a 12 or 13 play drive. When we put that 13 play drive together, it might have been probably, in their opinion, checkout time.
In the first game of the year at Texas, Equina St. Brown caught 5 passes, including 2 for highlight film touchdowns. He added 6 more catches against Nevada and now has team-leading totals of 11 catches for 160 yards in Notre Dame's first 2 games. It is clear the sophomore from Anaheim, California is a star in the making. But what you are about to find out is Equina is just as interesting off the field as he is talented on the field.
My name came from the word equanimity, which means level-headed and calm under pressure situations. I think I've been like that before I even knew what my name meant. My mom's from Germany, so she's German, and my first language was actually German. And in Europe, a lot of kids speak multiple languages because all the countries are really close together. So we found an all-French school, and that's where we went to school. A lot of the D1 kids, that play Division I today stood out at a young age. That's one of the things that pushed me to do better. And once I got my first offer, that's when it really hit me that I'm probably going to go Division I. So freshman year, I was mainly playing special teams. It was mainly a learning process, learning from the older guys. They taught me a lot about receiver, and then once I got injured, just getting in rehab and just getting ready for a spring ball to be healthy and be able to play.
So just think about right now when you get to this, when you get here, just think about ripping that arm through and bringing the hands with you. That'll help you open back up. Feel that? So that'll help you, because you remember, you want to show the defender this way all day.
Coach Kelly is a great guy. He helped me and Miles and Chase throughout fall camp. You know, he stayed with the W receivers because he felt that that's a place that is going to be important for the offense. So he was like kind of a personal coach for us all camp and really helped me and other receivers out.
You have a tendency on your outcuts to want to do this and peak instead of being really linear and then just ripping late, okay? Let your upper body rip late.
You know, it was a big change from having a lot of starters and a lot of guys with experience come and then leave. So now we have a relatively young room. Torrey Hunter and Corey Robinson are the leaders in the receiver room right now. You know, the guys with experience, and they know what it takes and what the expectations are, and they hold us accountable.
As the Fighting Irish open this 2016 campaign against the Texas Longhorns. Last time the Irish were in Austin 20 years ago, 1996.
So I felt really prepared and confident. I mean, of course I was a little nervous, but I felt confident in my ability. And then I just did what I'm supposed to do.
Eyes are at the helm, to the end zone. St. Brown, touchdown Irish!
First touchdown was just a simple go ball. You know, we practiced that one-on-one all the time. So the chemistry was on point and we just had to execute the play. Second touchdown, they gave us the coverage we wanted for that play, and I was wide open, and then it was just up to TK to throw the ball and me and make a play.
Notre Dame driving now, down by 7, and here's the snap, gets some time, throws downfield, open receiver, and what an athletic play into the end zone by EQ.
Yeah, I didn't know it was like that during the game. You know, I was just focused on the game. I actually thought I just fell in the end zone after I got hit. I'm just trying to win games, you know, do my part, do my best to win games, and, you know, get better and better every week.
First car you ever drove?
2000 Chrysler Town & Country.
Favorite class?
Sports and television with Karen Heisler.
Favorite musical group or artist?
Kenny Chesney.
One thing the public would be surprised to learn about you.
I'm a great karaoke singer.
Where is your favorite spot on the Notre Dame campus?
The Grotto.
Player on the team most like you?
Hunter Biven.
Best nickname on the team and who has it?
Guwap, John Montellis.
One thing you always hear from Coach Kelly at practice?
Do your job.
Assistant coach most like Coach Kelly?
Mike Denbrock.
Player who will surprise the fans the most this season?
Sam Mustipher.
Best singer on the team?
Me.
Best dancer on the team?
Torrey Hunter Jr.
Best comedian on the team?
Teron Jones.
Best dresser on the team?
Torrey Hunter Jr.
Worst dresser on the team?
Probably me.
Best thing about playing for Notre Dame?
Playing with the guys in the locker room.
Michael Clinchey, you just completed the 60-second drill on Inside Notre Dame Football. Thank you.
All right.
It's time now for the experts at TireRack.com question of the week for Coach Kelly. This week's question comes from 1983 Notre Dame Law School graduate Mickey Bullock. Coach, the Ivy League is moving to eliminate full contact practices by using mobile virtual players. I understand Notre Dame has these devices. Do you believe they are a valuable tool and will reduce concussions?
I'm not really as concerned about concussions as I am about having some of the mobile blocking units that really help from other injuries, whether they be shoulder injuries, neck injuries, and just really saving some of your other players. They add a couple of players to your roster. And so I'm a big believer in them. I'm not sure about the concussions as much because, you know, we kind of stay away from hitting and leading with the head because of our tackling. But I do think that there's something to this, and I think they're around to stay.
I haven't seen the coaches poll yet, but they were 8th in the coaches poll last week. Michigan State's going to provide quite a challenge, and part of it might be you really haven't seen this year's Michigan State team yet because they had last week off.
Yeah, and they're going to be obviously at their very best. They're rested. They're anxious to play a game. They probably had a preseason game, really, if you look at it, and then a week off. So they're chomping at the bit, obviously. They're going to be fresh. They're going to be explosive, and, we'll have our hands full. But we always know that against Michigan State, and they're well coached, and we know that, and it'll be a great football game.
And it's one of those that has a lot of lure for Notre Dame. It's a regular year in and year out opponent. The times have changed. You've got the ACC deal, but I know you welcome renewing these rivalries.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been one that people associate with the Notre Dame schedule. It's back on the schedule, which, obviously we certainly love this game. But, it's a really good football team, and they proved that last year. And they're going to be back. They've got a lot of fifth-year players. Again, it's a veteran team, and we'll have a great challenge on our hands.
Kelan McCord was just 4 years old when he was diagnosed with stage 4 neuroblastoma. Now, 5 years later, he's on his third relapse, but continues to battle this dreaded cancer with a courage and optimism that caught the attention of the Notre Dame Red Army, the young men who play quarterback for Kelan's favorite team. Recently, Kelan visited a Notre Dame football practice, and the quarterbacks made him one of their own.
Hustle up, Q's. Hey guys, bring it in the end zone. All right, I want everybody to meet Kelan. Kelan's going to be inducted today into the honorary Red Army. Let's get you in. We want to get you in the Red Army jersey. You gotta work with me. Good. All right, let's put that visor on. There you go. Okay, so start here. Start right here. Start on this side right here. Okay, and hop through sideways in this hole. Okay, ready? Good. There we go. Good. Good. Keep going. Good work. Good work. Good work. Ball through this hole right here. Yeah. Good job, buddy. All right. So hey, let's break it down. Let's break it down. Now that we know the break, bring it on. You got it. Got it? Go ahead. Wow.
Red Army on 2. 1, 2.
Red Army! Nice job, Kelan. Hey, we're your biggest fan. Okay, we're pulling through all this, and we're excited you came today, and we love what you stand for because you're a fighter. All right, so keep on doing what you're doing. You're an inspiration to us.
You guys better beat Michigan State in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I love that. Why don't we hold up our Red Armies? Want to hold it up? There we go. You just needed the best looking girl.
All of us here at Notre Dame send our thoughts, prayers, and the Notre Dame fighting spirit to Kelan as he continues his courageous battle. That will do it for this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football. We'll be back next week to break down the showdown with Michigan State. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Irish and go Kelan.
Inside Notre Dame Football is presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame partners Coca-Cola, Under Armour, and Gatorade. Inside Notre Dame Football is also brought to you by Bank of America, Canon, Xfinity, Delta Airlines, proud to be the official airline of Notre Dame Athletics, Nissan, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.